Hello and welcome. This is a video trip report for Westwater Canyon on the Colorado River. This was in late July and the river was about 4,500 CFS on the day that we ran it. This is a wonderful, wonderful canyon. It is a 2-day trip. You can do it in 1 day. The canyon is 18 miles long, and the Bureau of Land Management allows 5 permits or 75 people, whichever comes first, to launch each day during the permitted season. There are a few rapids above where we're starting here. They're both just some small little class 2s in Little Horse Canyon. Kind of gives you a full day to warm up and get used to everything before you get into the main canyon. This is Marble Canyon Rapid, and it's the first significant rapid you come to. At pretty much all flows, it's a nice wave train down the right side, and then you'll pull off of the left-hand shore at the end where the rapid sort of chokes up a little bit. It's fun, splashy waves with little danger if there were to be a swimmer, and almost no chance of flipping. All of the rapids inside of the canyon are rated Class 3 according to American Whitewater. However, for larger boats like this one, a lot of the ones you're going to see really feel more like a Class 2. Part of what makes them Class 3 is the continuous nature of the water in the canyon. There's not a lot of eddies, so if you do have a swimmer or if you do have a flipped boat, it can make it hard to get that boat or to get that swimmer. However, at most of the flows under 10,000, the river is a lot of pool and drop rapids where you do have some calm water in between, but if you were to have a flipped boat, that does mean re-flipping it in the moving water, not going over the shore. This next rapid is Staircase, and it gets a little bit more fun starting right about at this level. Underneath this level, it's pretty insignificant, but at this level it becomes a fun wave train, and it's good, clean fun down the left-hand side, just trying to stay in the center of the wave train. We're running this boat as an oar paddle combo, and that is mostly just to give the paddlers something to do. It's really easy to run this with just the oars. We had a 2-boat trip with 4 people, and we have our second boat is actually behind me. He's still working on getting really comfortable reading the river, and so he wanted to follow my line, so he's going first, or he's going second and I'm going first. This rapid is Big Hummer, and this is where Big Hummer starts to kind of become something you need to be careful of. Below this level, it's really not much. Right there to the left is the rock that forms Big Hummer, and at this level it starts to become a pretty big pour over that if you weren't paying attention to it and you happen to hit it, it could cause some problems with dump trucking some swimmers out or potentially flipping a boat. But most of the time, if you can get to the right side of that big rock, it's not anything to worry about. On this day, we had 10 boats from Holiday Expeditions in front of us. They had 2 groups of 25 that were going down. And so we're slowing down here to just give them plenty of time in Funnel Falls. Funnel Falls, depending on the level, can run left, center, or right, but there's this choke point between 2 boulders. At this level, the run is right down the middle, and again, it's just good, clean fun. It's probably one of the larger drops on the river, but it's a really clear and prominent tongue that you just want to go right down the center of. The pour-overs can become pretty steep if you're in the wrong spot, and Funnel Falls has been known to flip a number of boats. So you want to pay attention, stand up, get a good boat scout, and make sure you're on the correct spot of the tongue for the level that you're running it at. The next two rapids are the Surprise Rapids. Surprise can be a little bit tricky. I didn't quite have my bracing as strong as I wanted, and my oars pulled forward pretty hard when I get across the eddy line. And with my disability, I just kind of got pulled straight off my seat forward. But as long as you're lined up straight for the drop, Surprise is not anything too hard to run. But again, like a lot of these, if you're in the wrong spot, you're caught off guard, it can be a little problematic. And then the next section, some people just consider it part of Surprise. A lot of people call it the Son of Surprise. And it's just a diddle right down the middle, fun, easy wave train. And this brings you into the calm stretch of water right above Skull Rapid. And again, there's not a lot of eddies above here, and there's not a lot of opportunities to pull over. So if you do have something go wrong, you've got to make it happen in the moving current up here above Skull. The move for Skull is almost always the same. Start center right of the tongue, and a downstream ferry across the eddy line just behind the rock will bring you to the left side of the big hole. My goal is always to be on the kind of the right side of the tongue, so I can get 3 or 4 good pulls to get to the left side of that lateral wave. And after that, all the hard work is done, and you just keep the nose downstream and move down right next to the big hole, which is formed by the Skull Rock. I'm trying to check upstream to see how my buddy's doing. Again, he's rowed a boat a couple of times, but I just want to make sure that he's getting clean lines. Off on the right-hand side is the Room of Doom, which is a gigantic cutout in the rock wall, separated from the main current, and it can be a really hard room to get out of. Bowling Alley comes really quickly right after it, and again, it's just a really fun rapid, a nice little wave train that you just want to point down the center of and try to catch every wave you can. Sakatumi lives up to its name. It's probably the biggest hit on the river, and I was pointed a little farther left than I should have been, and so Alan up there in the front right, he got rocked pretty well when we got turned a little bit sideways. If I'd been pointing a little more to the right, we'd have come over a little more straight, but it actually set me up really well to pull away from that wall right in front of my boat, which is known as the magnetic wall. And a lot of current can push over there, and boats have been known to wrap up on that wall or even flip off of the wall. And the final rapid is Last Chance. There's a huge boulder. At this level, it's a massive pour-over right in the center of the river. There are runs to the right and the left of it. We chose the left line today. And once you're left of the big pour-over, it's just keeping it pointed downstream and pushing through the waves. Westwater is a really, really wonderful trip. If you're doing it in July or August, the water is warm, the air is warm, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity for somebody like my friend who's rode Class 2 and 3 rapids, but they're ready to start pushing themselves a little bit. It's an opportunity to to get some experience on some Class 4s and some more technical rivers. It's a wonderful overnight trip, and it's a great time. If you have the chance to run it, I highly recommend it. Everything under 10,000 is a lot of fun.